Well, hello, friends, and good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you today in the webinar, which is topic is building and managing a successful financial planning practice. Well, this topic is increasingly relevant in today's financial landscape, where professionals are not only expected to deliver sound advice, but to also grow client-centered practices. So, whether you are an aspiring financial planner or an established advisor looking to expand your business, or someone interested in the business side of the financial services, today's session, friends, promises valuable insights and practical perspectives. Also, we can look forward to a lot of learning about, key strategies for growth, overcoming common challenges, leveraging technology, and creating a scalable model that delivers consistent value to clients. Friends, we are honored to have with us Sri Sandeep Sahni ji, who is a founder and partner of the company called Sahayak Associates. Please allow me a couple of minutes to share his illustrious profile in brief with all of you. Sandeep ji is an alum of IIM Lucknow, and he has a rich corporate work experience covering FMCG, logistics, and hospitality industries. He is currently in the wealth management and personal finance domain, and he has an investing experience and study of the financial markets span for 30 years. He is based out of Chandigarh and is advising more than 500 families across the globe on financial planning and wealth management. Sandeep has promoted Sahayak Gurukul, which is the company, it is an attempt to share thoughts and knowledge on aspects related to personal finance and wealth management. Alongside, Sandeep ji also conducts regular investment awareness programs and workshops for training of mutual fund distributors and workshops and seminars on financial planning. So he's an author of 3 books, yes, and he also writes blog on personal finance, investments, and markets. He has conducted presentations, workshops, and guest lectures at professional colleges like IIM Lucknow, ISB Mohali, and other business schools. And he's also a regular speaker at various conferences and seminars. And friends, that is where I met Sandeep ji during one of the last seminars of IMFD Galaxy in Chennai. So we thought that this is a good topic for us to have a webinar on. So, with deep expertise in client acquisition, operational efficiency, and long-term growth strategies, Sandeep ji has helped professionals transform their practices into thriving enterprises. So, without further ado, it is my privilege to invite Sandeep ji to share his insights with us. Sandeep ji, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everybody. And thank you, Alok sir and FPSB for giving me this opportunity of sharing my thoughts, my experience, my knowledge. And I hope everybody finds it useful during the next 1 hour or so that we're going to spend on how to scale up the business and how to set up a scalable model of a financial planning business. Sir, may I share my screen?
Yes, please. Sure, go ahead.
So friends, we are going to be talking about building and managing a successful financial planning practice. Every great design begins with an even greater story. So it's all about a story. So let me begin with the story. Today we are living in this world where everybody wants to invest in a startup. So let me ask you, would you like to invest in a startup which has a penetration level of only around 5%, which is growing at a 20% CAGR? Expected growth rate is 50 times by 2047. Operating profit margin is more than 70%. Working capital required is very low. Break-even point is in less than 1 year. And time required to start this business is only, 1 month. I'm sure everybody would want to invest in this kind of a startup. And where your possible income can keep on multiplying and compounding. That is what is our business. If you look at it, actually, I am talking about not any other startup, but our own mutual fund distribution practice or a financial planning practice. Some men see things and ask why. Others dream things and ask why not. I always advise everybody to dream big, to think to have your wildest dream and see how you can achieve this. We talk to all our clients about compounding, but do we actually know the power of compounding ourselves? If I were to tell you that you can grow 100x in 10 years, do you think it is possible? Let's say if you need to grow at 100x in 10 years, you just need a CAGR growth of 58%. In 10 years, let's say if you grow only at 25%, still you will be 10x. That is the kind of power of compounding which is there in our business. And it can easily be done. Going forward, I'll tell you possibly how it will be done and what is the possible potential which is there in this business. During this talk, because we are a mutual fund distributor, I'm going to be talking about a lot of mutual fund distribution. But there are other lines of business also which you can look at, and the same theory is applicable in other lines of business also. Now, tell me one thing, if the next slide possibly will just open your eyes, and maybe you've not thought of it like that. What if I tell you that your current AUM can become your annual income in 20 years? Let's say whatever is your current AUM, whatever is the fund that you're managing for your clients, it is 10 crores, 50 crores, 100 crores, can actually become your total income in 20 years. Now, can you imagine if you're managing 100 crores today, your annual income will be 100 crores after 20 years. And how this can be done is very simple. It is again compounding. If your current trail income is 0.7%, you just need to grow at 140 times in 20 years, which 140 times may sound very big, but actually it's a CAGR of 28% only. And we all know that growing at 28% in our business is not too difficult. I see a lot of mutual fund distributors, RIAs, financial planners. You ask them, okay, what are you doing? They will always tell you that I'm doing a SIP of 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh rupees every month. And I always tell them one thing, a 1.5 lakh rupee SIP in 18 years at a 12% CAGR will give you a corpus of around 10 crores in the next 18 years. And if you do a 5% SWP after 18 years, you can earn a 4 lakh rupees per month ka SWP aap kar sakte hain. But what if you invest the same amount in your business? Why don't you try this out? 1.5 lakh if you invest in business. And this is how it can be done. Let's say you hire 3 people, pay them a salary of 25,000 each, then office expenses, other expenses is 1,50,000. And if they can get a SIP of 2,50,000 rupees a month and a lump sum of 25 lakh rupees a month, in 18 years, your total SIP book will be 5.4 crores and your total AUM will be 1,500 crores. And that 1,500 crores will give you 10 CR every year as trail income. Yahan pe on one side, if you do a personal SIP, you'll get, you'll create a 10 CR corpus, which will only be a one-time corpus. Out here, you can do it every year. You will get 10 CR every year. So that is something which is possible. Now you have to decide what you want to do. The thing that we try and convince all our clients about, the same thing is applicable to us also. If we believe that after 18 years, this is the kind of compounding which can happen, so why don't we try this ourselves also? So how to do it? First, ask yourself some important questions. First is, what business are you in? What is the purpose of your business? What are the challenges in this business? Does the business offer growth opportunities? And finally, comparative analysis of this business in developed markets. Now, what is the financial planning practice? Financial planning practice is all about mutual fund distribution, RIA, research analyst, insurance advisor, estate planning and will writing, bonds and other debt products, direct equity, equity broking, AIF, SIF, PMS, small case, direct equity maybe, business coaching. These are the kind of various verticals that we can look at. First, ask yourself, why are you in this business? Are you there only to earn a livelihood? Maybe it's a source of passive income for you, to help clients achieve their financial goals, to spread financial literacy. You can manage on your own without a team or office. So that is what prompted you to get into this business. But there's very, very low investment required. There are very good growth prospects and not too many complications, very low compliance. There's virtually very, very low compliance which needs to be done. So it can easily be managed. So maybe that is why you are in this business. You have to answer to yourself, why are you in this business? And then we need to ask, are we in the right business? Do we believe in the India growth story? I'll share a study which was done by AMFI, along with PwC. In this study, they said, okay, this is a vision document that they prepared for 2047. What is the mutual fund industry's Amrit Kal, how will it look like? So they said the GDP growth will be 9x. Like today, it will be approximately $30 trillion by the time we reach the Amrit Kal. But the total mutual fund AUM will grow 50x. The retail AUM will grow 57x. That is the kind of growth which is possible. But the best part is the distributors and RIAs are expected to grow only by 5x. So that is the kind of potential which is there in this business. That is the kind of growth which is going to be expected in this business. And this is their complete details about, again, highlights of the Amrit Kal, what will be the per capita income, total number of retail investors, right? And it also tells us what is going to be happening in the developed markets, what is already there in the developed markets. And there is a long, long way to go for all of us. If you look at it, the 23.45 crore mutual fund portfolios, but only 5.4 crore unique investors, which is what? Which is nothing, which is less than 4%. And if you compare it with any other thing, the total number of PAN card holders, e-commerce users, Dream11 users, which were there earlier, I think there is a long, long way to go for all of us. And it's a huge opportunity. Again, this data is from the AMFI side. 46% of the mutual fund clients don't have a SIP. The B30 location sales have increased from 14% to 22% from 2019 to 2024. So that is where the growth is coming. 57% of the investors are only invested in one AMC. The women investors have jumped from 18 lakh to 79 lakhs in the last 7 years, from 2017 to 2024. And the total corpus of women investors has increased to 7.5 lakh crores. That is the kind of growth which women investors are bringing in. So are we targeting the women investors or no? That is something which you ask yourself. The most SIP installments remain unchanged. Expired SIPs, 8 lakh clients have not restarted their SIPs once they've finished. 44% of the investors have exposure to only one scheme. Now, out of the 23.5 million new investors, 14.9 million new investors were millennials. That's accounting for 63% of the new additions. Are you targeting millennials? Because the new business is only coming from them. But are we targeting them? Are we ready for them? Are we ready for their requirements and for their needs? That is something which you ask them. And if you look at it, there's a very big opportunity because, out of the total 239,000 mutual fund distributors which are there, if you look at 1,000 crore plus AUM, it's a very, very small amount of very small number of distributors. As you keep on increasing your size, the competition virtually becomes negligible. So if the industry will grow at 50x by 2047, right? Are we ready to grow at 500x? How do we grow by 500x by 2047? That is something, because the industry is going to grow. Are we ready to grow by that much? That is what it is. Now I'll just share what we've done over the last, we started this business in 2017. Now this is what we've done. We've grown at the rate of 45%. And now we want to grow at a much faster pace going from here. And we are targeting a 20,000 crore AUM in the next 10 years. I'll tell you how we plan to do it going ahead. And let me tell you, friends, this is possible. This can be done. This is the kind of SIP, 150 CR is the kind of SIP that we want to do. And our gross revenue, hopefully by then, will be around 150 CR. So let's analyze our existing business first. Do you have the right solution? Ask yourself, are you providing the right solution to the client, or are you just pitching what you have? Are you doing the right fit for the client or not? Next, the problem that you are solving, what or why? The client wants to understand why should he invest there, and you are solving some other problem maybe. So you first ask yourself these very, very basic questions so that you have a better understanding of what you are doing and what you need to do. Whom are you representing, client or manufacturer? A lot of times we represent the manufacturer. We go as if we are representing an AMC. We should be representing the client. We should be offering him products or solutions which he needs, not which the manufacturer is giving to us to sell. So which side of the table are you sitting on? What perception are you creating in your communication? Product seller or solution provider? Are you providing a solution or are you offering a product? कि ये नया mutual fund आया है, ये ले लो, ये नया product आया है, ये ले लो. What are you doing? First ask yourself this. How is your client perceiving you? A lot of times is when you go to visit a client, does he say, oh yaar ye kahan se aa gaya, abhi to 1 ghanta kharab hoga? Or does he welcome you that now so and so has come I'm sure there'll be a lot of value addition in the next 1 hour. He'll teach me a lot of things and I'll learn something new and it'll help me achieve my financial goals. How does the client perceive you? That will give you a very good indication on where you should be heading. How do you seek attention, quality or quantity? Do you bombard your prospects, your clients with a lot of messages and a lot of news items and a lot of videos? Or are you just giving quality information which they actually need? Are you creating a pull or push? Ideally, the client, they should be your brand, your work should pull clients towards you. You should not have to push your services to the clients. That is the ideal situation. You have to start working towards that. Do you know your customer beyond KYC? What exactly does the client want from us? Do we understand their requirement? Do we understand their pain points? Do we understand the goals and aspirations? Do we understand the client's needs? Are we fulfilling those? Or does KYC only mean PAN, Aadhaar and cancel check to us? Or at the most, maybe a nominee? You have to ask yourself this. What is your source of value and why should the customer come to you? Is it only due to convenience? Or due to you manage their behavior very well? Do you manage their fear and greed very well? Or because you're process oriented? Or you can help generate an alpha? Or maybe you're a trusted advisor. You always try to give the right kind of advice. Maybe you have the right platform, right technology, and you can provide solutions through that technology. Or is it your brand? You're a very, very well known, a very well established brand in the region. So that is why people should come to you. You have to decide which out of these or which mix out of these do you want to offer to your client. So where are you today? First note down this, where are you today? In terms of AUM, SIP, number of clients, number of families and all these kind of details. Then rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on SOPs. Do you have SOPs in place? Are you in the right verticals or the required verticals? What solutions are you offering? Have you created a reserve and surplus in your business so that you can invest in your business? What is the skill set that you and your team have? What is the level of automation that you've done? Analyze your business. This is the BCG matrix. So analyze your business in terms of growth potential and gross margin. Where does each segment has to have some solution that you're possibly offering. Reasons for not scaling up. I find a lot of people do not scale up. They are contented with what they're getting. They started off maybe 10 years, 15 years ago. Today they're at 50 crores, 70 crores, 100 crores. अरे बहुत मजे से जिंदगी कट रही है. They get around 70-80 lakh rupees a year and life is, sorted out. Is that the reason? Why are you not scaling up? Is it lack of conviction in your business? Or maybe you don't have experience in running a business? Or is there contentment? Or is it lack of confidence in handling a team? The next generation may not be interested. State of comfort, you are in the comfort zone. This is something which I find most often. Everybody's in a state of comfort. Maybe you don't have the you don't have the kind of skill sets which are required. Or resources. You don't have the resources to scale up. You need to open an office. You need to have a team. You need to invest in technology, in learning. Possibly you don't have the resources to do that. So first thing that we need to do is we need to do a SWOT. We need to do our SWOT analysis. Like this is what we did for us. This is our SWOT. You need to do your own SWOT. What are your strengths? We thought our strengths. This is the list of strengths that we have, which we've shared with you. These are the weaknesses that we have. One weakness that we have is we are over dependent on mutual funds. There's a key man risk. Me and my partner, we are the ones who are driving the entire business possibly. We talk a lot, but we implement very less. So that is a weakness that we need to overcome. But first thing is we need to identify this weakness. Like low conversion rate is a weakness for us. So these are the kind of weaknesses that are there. These are the opportunities that we've identified. These are the opportunities which are available to us, and we need to tap these opportunities. You need to identify your own opportunities. And these are the threats which are there, which we feel in our business. And we need to plan a strategy on how we should overcome these threats. So let's do business planning. Business planning is all about why, where, when, how. Like Warren Buffett said, an idiot with a plan can beat a genius without a plan. So let's start with the business plan. So where do you want to reach in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? That is the first thing that you must decide. You need to put it down on paper. That is something which you need to do. Then we need to decide what will be required to reach there. The first thing that we did was we made a vision statement. This is our vision statement. As they say, we are limited, but not by our abilities, but by our vision. Now, you need to have your own vision. Where do you want to do, what you want to do, and where do you want to reach? This is a mission statement. And how we are going to go about and achieve our vision. This mission statement is all about that. Write down your own mission statement. This is what ethics mean to us. This is the Sahayak ethics, as we call it. For us, ethics is all about expertise, transparency, offering holistic solutions, integrity, client first always, and solution oriented. In holistic solutions, we have this concept called the Sahayak 3I. I'll share about this 3I going forward. It says that ethics is all about it takes less time to do things right than to explain why you did it wrong. So you need to be an ethical organization and you need to follow ethics. So you have to create your own brand and logo. This is our brand and logo, Sahayak Associates. This is the 3I concept that we have, our financial wheel, which starts with insurance. Next is investment, and third is inheritance. We protect you, we help you grow your wealth, and we help you distribute your wealth to the right kind of people. And this is our mascot. Our byline is your personal family CFO. Don't forget to get a trademark registration done for your brand and logo. Customers want to see the 3 C's: communication, continuity, and consistency. That is what you must offer to all your customers. Now, this is our core beliefs and investment mantras. We believe in goal-based investment only, no piecemeal investing, and we believe in the power of compounding. Asset allocation is paramount. With the help of delayed gratification, we help clients, ensure that we achieve their goals only because of this. Zero speculation, zero debt, and long-term orientation. Zero debt, I mean zero leverage. That we don't advise leverage to clients for any kind of investment. Long-term wealth creation, no short-term solutions. We don't try to time the market. We follow the risk PCR strategy. PCR is risk preference, risk capacity, and risk requirement. The idea is to understand risk and client reaction to risk and give a plan accordingly. When you start in a bull market, everybody wants to take the risk. But when it comes to a bear market, everybody wants to exit. We need to understand what is the kind of risk that we should offer to a client. Similarly, we were talking about RRR, which is review and rebalance regularly. Our first order of business is protection of capital, then growth, and final creation of wealth. We are only interested in long-term relationships and believe in regular engagements to develop the same. Our endeavor is to promise less and deliver more. We shall always honor all our commitments, come what may. So this is the Sahayak process that we have. It's basically a 5-stage process, which is first stage is meet and understand the client's requirements, analyze, plan and execute, support right through the journey, and review regularly. That is the basic process that we need to follow. And we try to follow this process for each and every client. This is the journey that we take the client through. These are the different steps. I'll go forward. So this is the complete process, how we deal with the client, and everybody needs to follow. Our entire team follows this process. This is, we don't do any shortcuts in this process. What I'll do, sir, I'll share the presentation with you. And then in case if you deem fit, you can share the presentation with all the attendees. So that way it will be easier for them also to follow and to possibly implement that.
Sure, sir. Yeah.
Right. So this is the complete process that we follow. Similarly, we very strongly believe in that we should identify things that we will not do so that we can reduce choice. The first thing is not everyone is our customer. So we have to understand that everybody is not going to be our customer. We should choose and select our customer. Like we also identify products we will not sell. Just for example, we don't sell endowment products. That is a personal call that we have because we feel they don't fit into the requirement of the client. Everybody can have their own thought on that, but this is the thought that we have. Processes we will not follow. That is another thing that we do. Skills we shall not look for in our team. That is again, I will talk about this going forward when we talk about the team, but we will tell you skills that we don't want in our team. Things we shall not do to advance our business. A lot of times people came to us and told us that you give us a referral commission and we'll give you business. So we decided, no, we will not follow this path and we will not do our business like that. So this is something which we decided. So similarly, things that we will not do, just to go into some specifics. We don't invest in NFOs unless it's a new category or a new niche. We don't invest in theme or sectoral funds, believing that in case a theme is going to do well, the fund manager will take care of it. We don't pursue the best performing funds as performances change. Now, these are the things that we follow. Again, you have to take your own call. You have to do it based on your priority or how you want to help the client achieve your goal. But this is what we do. Like, for example, we don't do physical investing. We only do digital. Whatever the size of the client, we will not do physical investing, because we find it too cumbersome and it is open to mistakes. And we've seen it in COVID. Redemption becomes a very big issue. COVID whoever had done physical investing was not able to redeem and was not able to make use of that money. So we've decided we will not do that. So you have to decide things that you will not do. And you need to diversify. You need to diversify business verticals. What are the different business verticals? Like we help a client diversify their investments, we must also diversify, and we must ensure that we have different business verticals. We have different client segments by gender, by age, by location, by income, by profession, asset classes, equity, debt, gold, art, commodities, real estate. We all know that not all asset classes perform at the same time. So we need to diversify that for the client also. The products that we offer. The geographical spread, again, this is something which is very important. Now, we've made it a rule that not more than 40% of our clients will be from our home location. So that is up to it. Similarly, skill sets, hire a team with different domain expertise. That is how we diversify our requirements. So what are the solutions or products that you will offer? Now, this is the list of products. These are the solutions that you can offer. You have to decide, you have to choose what you will do or what you want to offer at this stage, where you have the synergy or where you have the match, where, which solutions and products you can offer to the client. Write down a business plan. Again, something very important. Whatever you write down, it gets achieved. Whatever you don't write down, it just remains a plan. So write down a business plan, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. What do you want to do? Set smart goals. What is your goal? Is it measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound? Like, for example, what is the gross corpus you want to manage in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? What is the income you want to earn? The number of clients you want to serve? Per client earning, what do you want? Per hour, what is your per hour cost? Like, for example, there are 2,000 hours in a year and you want to earn 1 CR a year. So you need to earn 5,000 rupees an hour. So are you doing that? Or are you spending time doing somebody else's work, which you can outsource for maybe 500 rupees an hour? That is something which you need to see. Then you need to make a list of prospects. What is the conversion rate that you have? Like, for example, I say out of the total prospects that we service, we convert around 25% of them. I need around 3 to 4 meetings to convert. So that is something which I need to do. And then I start working backwards on how I should achieve my goals. So where do you want to reach in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? What is the AUM want to reach? Number of clients, SIP, insurance book, team size, number of offices. What are the new verticals you want to achieve in 5 years, 10 years by Amrit Kal? And what is the CAGR that you're looking at? Please put it down in a matrix like this. How will you strengthen your business and achieve? What is the kind of people that you will hire? What are the new solutions that you will offer? What are the processes you will adopt? You must shift from AUM to GUM. GUM is goals under management. Today we are focusing on AUM, but let's shift on goals. The goals are going to be much bigger than the AUM. What is the technology that you're going to adopt? Shift from AUM growth to unit capital growth. What are the number of units that you will add when you are selling mutual funds? What is the kind of infra that you need in terms of offices, in terms of resources, in terms of all those kind of things? Then brand building. How do you build your brand so that you can establish trust in the mind of the clients, and so that your brand stands for something? You need to create a formal organization. Once you reach a scale of, let's say, 100 CR, an employee strength of more than 10 actually, you must create a formal organization, create a roadmap. You must have a corporate structure. Like typically the roadmap is, you are the CEO or the promoter, and then you need to have these verticals: finance, legal and compliance, IT infra, marketing, knowledge upskilling and training, customer service, sales, HR and admin. These are the basic roles that you must do, and also get a MSME registration done. The government is offering a lot of benefits to MSMEs. Please get your MSME registration done. Don't forget to do that. What should be a business model for each vertical? A strategic tie-up or an agency model. You can work with a national distributor, a sub-broker, or you want to work as an individual. Direct registrations with AMC or insurance company, or how do you want to do it? You must decide for each vertical that you want to have. In every vertical, what is going to be your business model? You must decide that. And how will you reach? Are you ready for the first thing? Are you ready for the next level of growth? Remember one thing, that what has got you here will not get you there. You need to change. We need to do a lot more, professionally and personally. The first thing I think we need to do is we need to have an abundance mindset. If you want to grow your business, you have to be an optimist. A pessimist can never grow the business and can never help the client achieve the financial goals. Then next, do you have a clear vision and mission? Do you have the skill set, or do you need to upgrade your skills itself? You need to prioritize your resources like time, skills, funds. How do you allocate the above? Decide on an ideal allocation for each thing. Do you have a business plan? Have you prepared an operations manual? This is something which is very, very important. We've prepared an operations manual. I'll just show you what we've done. And then finally, are you investing for continuous growth? This is something which most people are not doing. Ideally, if you're earning 100 rupees, this is how you should be allocating your 100 rupees. Your office expenses should be 10%. Staff expenses should be around 20%. CRM should be 5%. Marketing should be 5%. Learning and upskilling should be 5%. Your travel to meet clients, travel to attend conferences, and all those things should be 5%. Your business SIP, should be around 10%. This is the reserve and surplus that you should create. Investment for new office and verticals should be 10%, and your withdrawals and personal expenses should be limited to 30%. But normally what is happening is we are withdrawing 70% and we are just allocating 30% to our business. So this is something, if you do this, let me tell you, you'll have that 10 CR earning every year. That is the kind of investment, that is the kind of growth that you can possibly look at. Another thing, write your elevator pitch. Elevator pitch is typically like, how long are you in the elevator? Maybe 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes. And if you meet somebody in the elevator, how will you talk to them about your business? That is an elevator pitch. Prepare your elevator pitch. How will you tell your grandmother what you do? What is your favorite selling story? Some time ago, the favorite selling story a lot of people used to have was, कि sir, आप 15,000 लगाइए 15 साल के लिए, उसके बाद सारी जिंदगी 50,000 ले लीजिए. Now, what is that story? That story was that you invest 15,000 rupees a monthly SIP for 15 years at a 15% return. It will create 1 CR. And out of that 1 CR, you do a 6% SWP. So you'll get 50,000 rupees a month. People used to find it very, 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 very credible and very, very encouraging. कि मैंने 15,000 रुपये लगाया और 50,000 रुपया सारी जिंदगी लिया. So that was something which was very interesting to most people, and most people used to buy it. Now there are a lot of regulations and compliances and everything. So I don't think whether you can sell this story or not. Then standardize. That is something which you need to do. Standardize your operations. Frame SOPs for everything. Focus on goals, not returns. Generate behavioral alpha. That is something very, very important. The devil always lies in the detail. Do detailing. Automate operations. Reduce client involvement in process and operations. Digitize. No manual operations. Develop pro tools for everything. Predefine the planning and review process and ensure that you follow schedules. And get an ISO 9000 certification. ISO 9000 certification is for standardization and SOPs. We've got an ISO 9000 certification. It also helps build trust in the mind of a client. This is our operations manual. We've created an operations manual, which has basically a business plan, a rolling plan for 1, 5, and 10 years, SOPs and operations manual. We have an HR and team building process and induction manual. Then there's a marketing and social media plan. Virtually for every business vertical, for every process, we've got a written down plan. It starts from prospecting. Let's say if there's a prospect, what is the graphic I need to send to the prospect? What is the message I need to send to the prospect? Then after I meet the prospect, what is the message I need to send to them? Then what should be the process? Like I shared the 5-stage process with you that we follow. At every stage, it's all documented and there's a template which is available for everything so that the team doesn't need to know what is to be done. So that is how this operation manual helps. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, but let me tell you, it's worth it. So first, let's define our ideal client. Ideal client is, this is the ideal client mix. Gender, by gender, let's say male, female, you decide you want how many male clients, how many female clients. By age, what should be the mix that you have? By region, like we've said, Tri-City, Chandigarh Tri-City should be this, and this is how we want our client mix. By profession, different professions, self-employed, private sector, public sector, business, professionals, homemaker, retired. Each has this is basically trying to diversify your income, diversify your business. And then your income levels, middle class, let's say 10 lakhs and less, 10 to 25 lakhs, 25 to 50 lakhs, 50 lakhs and above. I need clients in each segment. So then we need to identify the gaps. Like for example, we've done this. We've identified a gap. We work with NJ. Now, on the NJ platform, this is available. This information and analysis is available. So like we've said, SIP range of all the SIPs that we do. What is the range? What are the number of clients doing each? What is the live SIP? What is the contribution of total clients? And what is the target? So that is how I know the gap. So I know which segment of SIP do I need to target. Similarly, age-wise, what is my client segmentation? What is my target? I identify the gap. So similarly, AUM. This is each client AUM. Again, I need to decide what is my each client AUM going to be. I target that, identify the gap, and I start looking at how, strategies on how to fill that gap. Similarly, for gender distribution, male, female, others including HUFs, corporates, and what is the total? Again, at first, write down whom are you servicing, what is your target, what is your gap. Age-wise, similar thing. 0 to 15, 15 to 25. Now, each age displays a certain characteristic. Somebody who's over 60, he's not going to give you fresh investments. Somebody who's joining at 25 is going to be with you for the next 35, 40 years. So we need clients in each segment. So we need to identify, so this is something which we need to do. City-wise distribution. How many cities do you want to touch? Like today, I think we are touching around 140 cities. So we are present in 140 cities. We have clients in 140 cities. You need to decide which cities do you need to be in. NRI distribution. How many NRIs do you want? That is again something which you need to do. And finally, we come to, do you have the right team? The first question that I get asked most often is, why build a team? Why should I have a team? That is something. And I always say, start buying what you are selling. What are we selling? We are selling our team. We are selling our time. We are selling expertise. But when I start buying time and expertise of somebody else, that is the time when I start growing. It helps me create a passive income. Like I said, I want to earn 5,000 rupees an hour. But the work that I'm doing, I'm making a graphic on Canva, which I can outsource for 500 rupees. And I'm spending 1 hour on that. So I'm doing something, which can be outsourced at 500 rupees, and I'm wasting my 5,000 rupees on that particular thing. Do I need to do that? As they say, you don't build a business, you build people, and then people build the business. What are the values and skills do you want in your team? Make yourself redundant to the organization. The day you make yourself redundant to the organization, that is the day you will start growing. You will start looking at growth. You will start thinking about growth. You will start planning for growth. You have to get away from the routine, from the operations, from the routine servicing of clients. That is what you need to do. And hire the best. If you hire people bigger than you, you'll become a company of giants. And if you hire people smaller than you, you'll become a company of dwarfs. Engage only professionals. Treat your team members as your partners. Pay them well. If you give peanuts, you'll get only monkeys. That's a very old saying. You have to give them the right incentives. Continuous learning and training program. Provide your team an opportunity to grow. Soft skills are very important. Empathy, sensitivity, commitment, focus. They should be open-minded. They should be positive. They should be optimists. They should have an abundance mindset. That is something which is very important. The right balance between EQ and IQ. And then have a team for each segment, for each vertical, or a common pool, whichever you want to do. Then create a service benchmark to decide on team requirement. Service benchmark is, let's say you decide that for every 50 CR of AUM, I will have one RM and one back office person servicing that. You have to decide your benchmark. You have to decide how many people you want to service. How many people should one team service. What we do not want in our team, one is lack of interest and enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is something that we don't want. Somebody who's constantly delaying something and giving you an excuse for it. Tardiness and absenteeism, declining performance, stress and workplace negativity. There are some people who are always negative. We don't want those kind of people in our team. And what do we look for in our team? First thing that we look for is integrity. We look for passion and fire in the belly. The person should be a self-starter, good communication skills, confidence and conviction. Always remember, the client does not buy mutual funds. He buys your confidence and he buys your conviction in what you are offering. Time management is very important skill. Critical thinking and problem solving, flexibility, digital literacy, and eagerness to learn. Again, something which is very, very important. As there's an old saying, hire character, train skill. Character cannot be taught. Character cannot be passed on. Skill can be taught. This is our organization structure. Like I said, me and my partner, and these are the various departments that we look after. And this is our operations departments. You can create your own organization structure. You decide on your own organization structure. This is our employee growth structure. Typically, when a person joins, he's a trainee for 6 months, then becomes a customer relation executive, which is a 1 to 3 year period, then a customer relationship manager, which is 3 to 5 years, a cluster head, then a business head, and finally a partner. Hopefully, in a 20 to 25 year period, he or she should be eligible for becoming a partner. What we've told our team is that we want to grow at this speed. We want to be 100x in 10 years. And if we grow at 100x in 10 years, the annual CTC that we are giving them today will become their monthly take-home pay. That is something that we are offering our team. If they are getting an annual CTC, let's say of 10 lakh rupees, that will become their monthly pay in 10 years if we are able to achieve these goals. And for that, again, they need to learn, they need to upskill, they need to have that kind of commitment, they need to service the clients. What is our growth driver? You have to identify your growth drivers. What is going to drive the growth in your business? Like we've identified these things. One thing that we're going to do is we're going to focus on daily SIP. Again, something which is not very popular, but this is an ideal replacement for RD, and I'll share an experience with you. We actually went to, a chaiwala and did a daily SIP for that chaiwala. And after talking to him, he and his wife were sitting and they were talking to us. And after some 1 hour of talk, they said, "Acha, 5,000 ki kar do." So we were very happy that 5,000 ka monthly SIP chalu hoga. And what they told us was, no, we want a 5,000 rupee daily SIP. That is the kind of potential which is there. After UPI and digitization, everything is coming into their bank account, and you can help them invest it properly. Then goal-based investing, debt mutual funds in lieu of FDs, NDPMS. This is non-discretionary PMS for ultra HNIs. Special occasion transactions. Like for example, on a Muhurat trade, Diwali Muhurat trade, typically we do around 300 transactions every year. We do a total gross transaction of roughly around 5 CR, I think we did this year. That is the kind of transactions which are done on a single Muhurat trade by telling the clients that, okay, this is a special occasion. You must start the new Samvat with an auspicious trade. Now, this is something which you can do. Similarly, for New Year's, for a birthday, those kind of things. Gold SIP. Then we are also focusing on corporate accounts, which we were not doing earlier. Then we are also started looking at REITs and InvITs as a growing asset class. These are the kind of investment plan for newborns is something that we are really, really focusing on. And you will not believe it. The parents are not that concerned about it, but the grandparents are more concerned about it. So we're pitching this to grandparents. We actually hold special, financial counseling session for newlyweds. We've created a brochure, which is financial planning for newlyweds, which we share with the people who have just got married. So these are the kind of things that we do. Similarly, what are the new verticals that we're looking at to increase our revenue? SME M&A reality. We want to open an office in Ludhiana, an office in Delhi. Sahayak Gurukul itself as a vertical, a B2B model maybe, insurance marketing agency, family office. We possibly will launch our own PMS down the line, insurance broking. So these are the kind of things that we are possibly looking at there on a horizon. We want to look at these kind of things. Finally, I think what we need to focus on is the customer happiness index. How can we do something extra for our clients? Mutual funds सभी बेचते हैं, goal planning सभी करते हैं, everybody helps you achieve the goals. What do we do? How do we do something extra? How do we create that lollipop moment for our clients? As they say, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Now, that is something, we have to be proactive in that. So that is something which you need to do. So just to sum it up, this is a summary of things that you need to do. Write a business plan, a vision and mission statement, identify what will not be done to reduce choices, standardize, diversify, build a team, learn and upskill, adopt strategies, set growth parameters, and do the little extra. Remember, 40 client meetings you must do every month. You must have at least 200 active clients, 200 families as active clients, 100 families as loyal clients. Your 100th client SIP amount should be at least 25,000 rupees. Your top client AUM to be 100 times the 100th client. A 1% SIP book, 1% net sales every month, 10 hours of reading and learning every week online, employee retention 60 to 80%, client servicing 2 hours every day at least. So plan your upskilling. Upskilling is very, very important. Learn and upskill. There is a 10,000 hour rule. It takes 10,000 hours for you to master something. Whether it is Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli or anybody, or Mozart for that matter, they all had to spend 10,000 hours mastering their skill set. Only then they could become the masters. So you also must do that. So this is how you can do your learning and upskilling. These are the conferences that we suggest. At least that is what we attend. Again, I'll share this with you. You can possibly copy it. These are the blogs to read. Subscribe for regular updates on investing and markets. These are the blogs that we read. Financial and economic writers to follow. I read their articles very regularly. They write maybe once a week or once in 10 days. So this is something that we need to follow to understand the macros and the micros. These are the podcasts that you can listen to. Read your Bible well. Books on investment management, books on behavioral finance that you must try to read in this year. I try to read at least one book a week, and I normally end up doing 40 to 50 books a year. This is books on practice management. This book, Story Selling and Financial Advisors, is a wonderful book to read. It can help you in your stories that you must use. Then books on self-improvement, the movies to watch, which are related to our business. And finally, act now. Get your dopamine from action, not just from learning. Most of us get our dopamine from learning, but not from action. We spend a lot of time learning, but we don't act on that. The past was all about product. The present is all about service. The future will be all about experience. So what is the little extra you're doing for your clients? Where do you rank yourself on the cheese score? You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You need to be the one who shows up, who is true to their word, who can figure it out, who does the boring things well, who takes pride in their work, who's reliable, who says no. Old-fashioned things will never go out of style. Raise the bar. Be the ambassador of the financial service community for Viksit Bharat. These are the books that I have written. You can scan the QR code to place the order. Standard disclaimer. Any questions, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandeep ji. I mean, this was really amazing and awesome. This shows the kind of, definitely a lot of work you have done and you and your team have done over the years, but it shows the kind of passion and commitment and the energy, it it is so much coming out, the way you are presenting and the way you are narrating and the efforts which have gone into building all this up. So it's really fantastic. So I particularly had a few, kind of queries from you. I saw a slide where you said that how is the client perceiving you? So this was, and there were two more slides, but if you can, if you can really let me know what it really means. How is the client perceiving you? I mean, you go and meet a client, and then what do you mean by that? Yeah.
Can I use English, no? Hindi and English
Yes,
both.
yes, yes. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. हाँ.
Sir, कई बार क्या होता है ना, when we go to meet a client, so you can see
हाँ.
it on his face कि वो सोचता है यार ये क्या बीमारी आ गई यार, अब ये बहुत तंग करने
हाँ.
वाला है 1 घंटा. And at
हाँ.
times when you go and meet a client, some clients, and your intention is what? Your intention is that you are going to meet a client,
हम्म.
you are going to add some value. You're going to help him in his wealth creation journey. You're going to
Of
help
course,
him achieve their financial goals. But are the clients perceiving you like that?
that's the question.
Or
Yeah.
are they perceiving you as a bothersome, troublesome person who will just come and trouble me for the next half an hour? मेरी जान खाएगा अभी आधा घंटा. You
Mm-hmm.
ask yourself
So
and
is
be
that a
frank about it.
differentiator? So that's the differentiator, you would say.
That is a differentiator.
Mm-hmm.
You will get your answer when you make a call to the client. How
Mm-hmm.
responsive is he to meet you?
Mm-hmm. Right, right. I got you. I got you there.
So
And
that
then
is,
this was, yeah.
if he's not responsive, that means there is something wrong with us. There's
Mm-hmm.
not something wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to improve our offering. We need to improve our solution. We need to improve how we are appearing to the client.
Of course, of course. Yeah, that's when you are able to get that connect, and that's when you are able to get the attention of the client, to what you are saying, to how you are, connecting with the client for his goals and for his
Sir,
requirement.
I'll tell you another thing, sir. Typically, what happens is when we engage with a client, when we start our journey with a client, typically a client will first give you 10% of the wallet share. And
Mm-hmm.
as the trust keeps on building, as his trust in you, your processes, your systems, your team keeps on building, the client will keep on increasing the wallet share. And then he will also start giving you references. The references will come from कि अच्छा मेरा वो दोस्त है, he also wants it, or my father wants it, or my son wants it. He started
Mm-hmm.
working. Why don't you talk to them? That is how it will happen. So if your
So that's
perception
what we
itself is
call
wrong,
the journey with the client, you mean to
yeah,
say, it's a
yeah,
long journey with the
yeah, it's a
client,
long
correct?
journey. And if the journey
Mm.
is starting off on a wrong note, or the
Mm.
client is perceiving you in the wrong manner, it will never start properly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always tell my team, let's not focus on fresh clients. Let's
Mm.
focus on existing clients. There
Mm.
is so much to gain from the existing client itself. What is the wallet share that we have? 10%, 20%? Let's
Mm.
try to achieve a higher percentage. One. Second, sir, एक 25 साल का client है, his father is a prospect for me. एक 50 साल का client है, his child is a prospect for me. So when we do our analysis, we say, okay, how many family members are there investing with us?
Correct.
So
Correct.
why do I need to go outside? First, let
No,
me
I do get that.
let
Yeah,
me
it makes a
exhaust
lot of
this
sense.
option.
Mm.
So as they say, other things are very simple. We complicate them.
Correct. And also this particular slide of yours, wherein you have mentioned that you and your team have made a conscious decision that here is a list of things that we will not do in our business model. Of
Yeah.
course, there are lot many things which you will do, but then you also have a conscious decision taken wherein you are saying that you will not do, your organization, your team is not going to do in your business model. And that's clearly mentioned, documented, written down, and followed upon.
And we are not wasting time on it, sir. Let's say, just for example, without going into the merits of it, whether it is right or wrong, I will not like to comment. But this is something that we've done. Like we don't invest in NFOs. So I'm not
Mm.
attending any NFO meetings. I'm not wasting time on NFO analysis.
Mm.
I'm not doing anything of that kind. And there's a
Correct.
reason why we don't do it. And I can go into details at some other time. So,
So
so that is,
that's your call. Yeah, that's the call of the founder of
uh,
your company, your organization, your business model. But
yeah,
it is documented and you are not following that. Yeah, that's what
precisely,
it is. Yeah.
precisely.
Sir, we also would like to know, I mean, in today's world, and I could not see this in your presentation. So, what's the role of the digital content and digital marketing? Does one have to be quite savvy in this, to have the practice build up and running and all that? What's the role of this?
So
What
I'll
are
tell
your
you,
thoughts?
I'll tell you something very simple.
Hmm.
First thing is you need to decide whom do you want to target? Who's your ideal client? See,
Hmm.
people are doing mass marketing. They're going into digital media, Instagram, Facebook, this, that, right? Without deciding whom are you targeting. Let's say
Hmm.
I want to target a certain segment. Firstly, are they present on the social media? Or do I need to have a direct contact with them? Is the communication I'm doing, is it relevant for them? So first thing is that is what I need to do. So digital is important. It's very, very important. But first I need to decide what do I want to communicate and to whom do I want to communicate.
Yeah, so that should be very clear to us.
That
That
should
should
be the first thing that you must be clear for you.
Yeah, and that should be, but that should be the your organization, your own firms, your business models, part of that you should be very clear on that, and then accordingly proceed.
So you have
Okay.
to decide what is your objective. My objective is to build trust in a certain segment of clients or a certain segment of prospects. So how do I build that trust? I build trust by servicing what they require. Let's say they want information on the markets. So I'll give them information on the markets. I'll do a comparative analysis. Let's say nowadays the war is going on. Maybe I need to do a post on what happened in the previous wars. How did it how did it
Yeah.
affect the markets going forward, going back? What exactly happened? Maybe they're looking at that, whereas I am giving them something else. So first
No, it
decide
doesn't.
what you want to
Yeah, it
communicate
doesn't.
and to whom do you want to communicate before you get into digital. Everybody's in a hurry to get into digital marketing.
Right.
You have
Yeah,
to
that's
decide
a
what your
very
brand stands for.
Yeah, that's a very unique perspective which you are bringing to this, very kind of a in thing, in especially in context to today's generation. So, Sandeep ji, very quickly, if you allow me, I'll take a few questions which have come
Please,
from
sir.
the audience.
Please, sir.
So, I have a question here from Mr. Vaidyanathan, which says that what would you suggest for the newcomers into the profession? Some people who are working from home or who have just started with a few clients. So, seeing your journey, they will be, I'm sure they will be mesmerized, but that period of 20, 30 years of work is also behind that. So, what would you say, what would you suggest for the newcomers?
So the first thing is treat this business as a business.
Mm.
It is not a pastime. A lot of people are doing this work as a part time. If you're doing it part time, it's not being fair to yourself and to your client because we are handling serious money of the client. So first thing is treat this business as a business. Invest in your business, make processes, make systems, create a manual, have an office, have a team to service the clients, have the right
Okay.
processes because at the end, we are handling serious money of the client. Market, because of the market, if the wealth goes up and down, that is not in my control. But if I don't follow a process and the market and the wealth gets eroded of a client, I think that is not warranted. If I'm
I do
making
get,
piecemeal
yeah.
decisions like asset allocation अपनी मर्जी से कर रहा हूं, that is not warranted. I
That is
have
not
to have
warranted.
all these processes and systems in place before I actually start, this journey.
Plus the time invested.
Plus the time
It will
invested.
take 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15
You
years,
are in
20
this
years.
business
So
for the
yeah,
long time, sir.
yeah, it's
And this
it's
is
a
one, sir,
marathon.
any business. I am saying I am going to earn 1 CR a year from this business in the next 5 years. If I was
Hmm.
to earn 1 CR every year in any other business, I will need to spend a significant amount of money and invest a significant amount of money. And even then, it is not sure whether I'll earn that kind of money or not. In this, what am I investing? My time, my effort, my knowledge. In terms of financial resources, what am I investing? And what am I asking you to invest? 1.5 lakh rupees a month. Let's say even if we
Yes,
don't
we
earn
saw that.
anything, it is 35 lakh rupees a year in 2 years.
Yes, we saw that. Yes, we saw that. And that was another very interesting slide, with all those numbers and calculations thrown in. So
So
that was
treat,
pretty much,
so
yeah.
I will only say one thing, treat your business as a business. Only if you respect your business, the business will respect you and give you a return.
Right, right, right. I have another question from Nandita here, Sandeep ji, and she would like to know, she says that, do you think that we are business ready to provide tailored services for Indians with ties in two different countries and for the expats? What services are important for such clients? So this question is basically for, people who are outside the country.
I think we are definitely ready to offer these services. See, we must understand one thing that financial planning remains the same across the world. The what is the requirement of the client? The requirement of the client is to achieve goals. I have to decide how to help the client achieve the goal. What is the journey that they must follow? Now, whether the client is in India, Dubai, US, UK, wherever. Now, I need to, customize it based on the tax rates, based on the kind of processes which are required, kind of compliances I need to do, and all those kind of things. Today in India, the gift city route offers me a wonderful opportunity to service international clients in a very easy manner, in a very transparent manner, and a very, very tax efficient manner. So why don't I follow that route? Even for people who want to invest abroad, that gift city route is a wonderful route to follow. But we need to build our own skill, our own learning about that route. We need to master that. Okay, what is being offered in there, so that we don't make a mistake. We don't make a mistake with the client's money. But first, we must learn about that. We are ready. We at Sahayak Associates are ready because we are investing. I have gone to Gift City. I've spent time there. I've tried to understand, though I didn't need to go there, but we went there as a team just to understand, just to remove that mental block from my mind. What's it all about? I attended a
Yeah, yeah.
conference there once,
Mhm.
a 3 days,
Yeah,
4 days.
so So first thing first is that you need to be sure that you are going to service this segment of client,
Yeah.
and then you need to work accordingly. That okay, you are going to service this. Okay,
See, like
I
I said, sir, not everybody is your client. If you are
Mhm.
not ready to service that client, please say no. Say, sorry, sir, I don't have the expertise to service that client. If you want, I can refer you to
Maybe
somebody else,
refer.
or maybe I'll come back later to you when I'm ready.
Mhm.
There's no harm in saying no. Please remember that not everybody can be your client.
Definitely, and
And
that
sir,
that
at the end
was
of the day, how many clients do I
Mhm.
need? 500 families.
Mhm.
That is sufficient for me.
That is sufficient. I mean, the kind of engagement is required with the client, kind of follow up the reviews and all those things. I mean, that itself is a huge number.
Before you, start prospecting, ask yourself, are you ready to service that client?
Correct, correct. And I have this follow-up question, Sandeep ji, from another audience who says that, how do you differentiate yourself, from a mutual fund distributor and as a financial planner? So when you are going there as a financial planner, so how do you differentiate yourself from a mutual fund distributor and make the client feel that we are not there to sell, but to plan for his goals and.
So I think the only thing is be real.
Mhm.
Don't try to be what you're not. Be real. Keep the client first policy always. Have the client,
So
you have the
client-centric.
client's needs, client's requirements first. Sir, I'll tell you, it may sound cliched and it may sound that I am speaking from the hat, but frankly, if you ask me, I don't know what commission we make from which mutual fund. We don't even look at that before deciding which mutual fund to offer. We decide, does that fund fit into the client's requirement, and we offer that.
Mm.
Have a client first. Like in the ethics that we had mentioned there, the C standard stood for client first and confidentiality.
Right.
That is how how do you differentiate yourself? You differentiate yourself by following processes, by having systems, by having a professional team, by having a client first, attitude.
Yeah, these are all the
by being
and
transparent.
correct.
So
And
this is
you
one.
already have a manual,
Yeah,
which has all these things, the
yeah.
processes and all.
And
I
let
have
me tell you,
another
sir, not
question,
everybody
sir.
does this.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, very important, but to jot down those nitty-gritties, you jot down those, pathways and all, what you are gonna do, what you are not gonna do. It's a time-taking process, but once it is defined, it's much easier, much simpler to follow. Sir, I also have a question from Aniket, which says that how to communicate with each client about any new updates or services. How should we? So for that, you must be having your own CRM model or something like
We
that.
have
But then
our
he
own
says
CRM
that,
model. Like I
yeah, he
said, we
says
use the
facing
NJ
some.
CRM, we use
Mhm,
WhatsApp for business, and we use
mhm,
mail.
mhm.
Thing
So
I can tell
mail
you
and
that
WhatsApp. Hmm,
we whenever we onboard a client, we create a WhatsApp group with the client. In that
hmm,
WhatsApp group, it will be the client, or if the client wants somebody else, let's say the spouse,
hmm.
they are there, the RM is there, either of our one of the partners, either me or my partner is there, and the back office person is there. Whatever communication happens in that group by the client and by us. So we have a TAT of 4 hours that we must respond to the client within 4 hours. So in case the RM is not available, the back office person will respond or I will respond.
Okay,
So
so
we know
that's
what's happening. We are following what's happening.
so your TAT is hardly is just 4 hours. You are saying.
4 hours, even if I can't get the answer, I'll respond and say, sir,
Hmm.
let me check and revert.
But the initial response goes actually. Yeah.
Initial response goes. Sir, we have to handle the anxiety of the client. See, typically
Hmm.
what happens na, client goes for a dinner. वहां पे he meets somebody who tells him कि देखो ये मार्केट तो बैठने वाला है, मैं तो सब बेच के जा रहा हूं. उनका एंजाइटी लेवल बढ़ जाता है. So he will
Uh,
give me a message first thing
uh,
in the morning कि sir,
correct,
let us redeem and move out and we'll invest at a later date when it becomes cheaper. So if I don't
correct,
respond, what will he do? He'll redeem.
correct.
But you know and I know that it's not the best decision that he'll make. So I
Yes,
need
of
to
course,
respond.
yes.
I
So
need
you
to
need to,
reduce the
yeah.
anxiety level of the client.
Mm. Yeah, so he has got some, to some response, some reply to his message. So he is
Yes.
like, okay, Sandeep ji will take care, his team will
Yeah.
take care, my message has reached them. So
Yeah.
his levels come down then quickly. Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much, Sandeep ji. I think we have quite a few questions still coming in, but I think time permit. What we will do is we will pass those questions to you, and maybe you can respond to them. Meanwhile, to all our viewers, I would say that we'll have this webinar on FPSB India YouTube channel also in some time. So you can always refer to this interesting set of the gyan, the mantras of Sandeep ji over long 20, 30 years of his business. And you can also get those slides and presentation deck on that YouTube. So with that, Sandeep ji, I think thank you so much for your time, for your you know for sharing your insights, your learnings and experiences with our community here. And it was a pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you very much,
It's
Sandeep
entirely
ji.
my pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.
I'm
Yes,
always
yes.
available for any kind of information or consultation which anybody wants.
So nice of you. Much appreciate. Deeply grateful, Sandeep ji. Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much.